Welcome to another edition of the Wavy Lines podcast. Jacksonville, Duval County's number one, first podcast here. Everybody else behind us following us. Everybody else here coming behind us. We got a episode we're gonna do about some shit that's going on. We're gonna talk about this Colin Kapernick situation, and we're gonna talk about some word. Some of this stuff is gonna be a little, what is called, what we're gonna call it, controversial. Some words that you're gonna hear in this thing is gonna be a little fuzzy to you, might make you feel a little funny, but we're gonna go with it anyway. Like I said, this is a lifestyle podcast from the African American male perspective, and we're gonna talk about pretty much everything that goes on with that. So you got me, I'm Big Sam here. Everything I say, some of the shit I say you're gonna like, some much you're not, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I got Batman over here.
You want to know the stats and info.
I got Skimp.
You already know what it is.
We got Timus.
We're just gonna call it how I see it.
Got Fred.
Running bell.
We got Daren.
We let it do what it do.
And we got MC behind the camera. So, like I said, this podcast is brought to you by Oh Yes Entertainment, and oh yes, we really mean this. So, we're gonna get into it right now. We got this Colin Kaepernick thing going on. We're gonna talk about if he want to play, if he don't want to play, and this idea of cooning for the African American male in these times. It's a lot of it going on. So, basically, what happened is Colin Kaepernick had a workout schedule with the NFL. And because of some waiver, I didn't hear about the waiver. I don't know nothing about the waiver, so we're going to throw it to somebody who do know what the waiver was about. But the waiver had him moonwalking, apparently, from the NFL, and he went to another location and did his workout without no bullshit. So we're going to throw it over here to Art and Timus to see what this waiver was about. Then we're going to throw it around to everybody and see exactly what they feel about the situation.
Okay. Well, from what I watched him and T.O., and what they were saying, the waiver was trying to make him sign over all his rights, you know what I'm saying? His rights to sue, his rights, just all kind of rights for him to not be able to actually, really play and really, you know what I'm saying, I guess they really had caught up, the situation by him playing and how he's working out and all that. So it was just a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to pull that up pretty soon.
Okay, well, Batman, what's your feelings about this thing? Do you want to play? Was it the NFL fault?
Because Stephen A. Smith says he don't want to play.
Come on.
Well, I think Colin Kaepernick want to play. You know what I'm saying? It's in him. He's a football player. But at the end of the day, him and his lawyers know what time it was. That's why they rushed the man to play. In 5 days, you want the man to go on and set up, be in Atlanta, throwing balls, taking interviews. You know what I'm saying? It was all out of pocket because they trying to cover themselves. They trying to set this man up to give away all his rights and keep themselves in the club. Show the teams, we brought all these teams to see you play, and now you can't play in the league. You ain't what we looking for. Well, really, it's just he getting blackballed all over again. Period.
Yeah.
Well, just to piggyback a little bit off of what Batman said, I feel like, they tried to blackball him again. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that. They tried to with him signing with that waiver and signing the rights. I ain't really dig all the way deep into it, so I don't really know too much about it. I don't really know just really the particulars of what everybody been talking about, but just a personal opinion, I do feel like it was a reason that's the reason why he moved it, because he felt like they were trying to bamboozle his ass again. Do he want to play? That's up for debate. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I personally, I don't know. Maybe he do, maybe he don't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that I do support Kaepernick and everything that he's doing as far as his movement and everything like that. So I'm with Kaepernick, whether he on the field or off the field. So
I'm gonna throw a little devil advocate.
hold on, fat man.
On Twitter at Lines Wavy. On Twitter at Lines Wavy. Questions, comments, anything you got to say, good, bad, or indifferent. guest spots, whatever you want to do, hit us up, let us know on Twitter. Spotify, Anchor, Apple, all your favorite podcast spots, we on it. Come look at us. Go ahead, Fred. I'm looking at
I think we got to be careful. We got disruptors in our community. I don't know if people realize this or not. Some of us in lockstep, some of us are not. We got some of us that, hey, want to get along to get along. But unfortunately, the bottom line to it is that when you on the ground level and you on your come up, you trying to make your come up, listen, hey, you are who you are. Why can't people just say, you just black, and they just call you a nigga? This is what Colin Kaepernick is being called right now. A nigga. You're not going to hear this on ESPN. You're not going to hear this on Fox. But the bottom line to it is they're calling him a nigga. They're saying, how dare you stand up to the NFL about the injustices being done to your people? Is the United States of America gonna say to Jewish people during the Holocaust what happened to them?
At lines wavy.
It's okay.
At lines wavy.
The United States of America would never say that to Jewish people. Because Jewish people stay in lockstep with each other over that atrocity.
And I think you really do want to play, you know what I'm saying? I think it's really, you know what I'm saying, it's really crazy how, you know what I'm saying, the narrative, you know what I'm saying, what Stephen A. was saying, he was trying to make it seem like he didn't really want to play. It really was crazy, you know what I'm saying? He want to play football, but that's why it's important for everybody. When you're dealing in with the media and everything, and the white people, when you're dealing with that, you definitely got to have representatives.
They want to limit
you got to look at the you got to look at the contract, bro. It was so important. That's why he moved it, because when the lawyers looked at
He right on about football.
But he right on that.
Let Daren get it.
Go ahead, Daren. That's important. This ain't just about football.
My personal opinion
I'm
on
gonna play devil advocate in a second.
is as an employer, whatever the demographic of your company is, that's what most employers come to, right? So if the demographic of there's companies out here, they employ a lot of LGBT. I don't know all of them. LGBT.
A lot.
I'm not in tune with that lifestyle, so I don't really know. It's LGBTQ something,
There's a lot
right?
with it.
But gay people, right, and lesbian and all the other stuff. When you employ a lot of those people, and they taking a whole day out to represent their rights, you see companies get the employer getting behind that and letting them demonstrate.
It's a movement.
It's a movement. And letting them stand up for that.
Darren. Tell it.
Everybody come before a black man.
Tell it, Darren.
The women's rights come before the black man.
Yeah.
Tell it, Darren.
And then they try to lump it all in.
The women's rights come before the black man. The stuff that's going on with the Mexicans is coming before the black man. The stuff that's going on with the Jewish people's coming before the black man. Mm-hmm. And listen to this, women's rights is coming before the black man. Anything that could come before black man problems, everybody gets behind that. But when black men are getting shot down in these streets,
okay.
Listen, and a lot of stuff, listen, their favorite thing is this, black on black crime, right?
Okay, that's racist in itself, ain't it?
Their favorite thing is this black on black crime, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look at the effects of black on black crime, that's still the effects of slavery. It still affects Jim Crow.
Right.
It's called self-hate.
You right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's called opportunities being taken away from you. And when you have an NFL, which we had no part in that to begin with. We wasn't even allowed to be a part of that. And then when we were allowed to be the football players,
Hold on, Fred. Let me still that conversation.
we couldn't be the quarterback. We weren't allowed to be the quarterbacks. We weren't allowed to be the wide receivers. We weren't allowed to be anything that was considered what do they call it? The thinking man positions. Right. We weren't allowed to be that in the NFL. We weren't allowed to be that in the NBA. Right. But the majority of men in the NFL are black men. And thank you, white people. We were slaves, and you breeded us the way that you breeded us. The big buck the big buck man, sleeping with the tall. You mix this with the tall black woman, the slave black woman. Guess what happened? You made a better product. Now we're faster and we're stronger, right? So
they want to control it.
They don't like that, but that's what you have in the NFL. That's what you have in the NBA. And if you let us play hockey the proper, if we learn how to play, don't let us learn how to play hockey and skate.
Subban.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't let us learn how to do that because we taking over that too. But long story short, let's talk about the NFL. That shield that everybody's talking about, the NFL, that shield
is bought by who?
The slave owners own that. That's old money. Those billionaires, that's old money, and they have old thoughts. They have an old thought process.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But long story short, if you have black men, if you have the majority of the black men that are your employees, right? Your employees, right? And they're standing up for a cause, why wouldn't you get behind that?
Okay, let me.
If it was gay people, you would get behind.
I want to say this here too. I'm sick of this. Listen, this women's movement.
Let me throw it
up. No, I'm gonna go there because I want to make this perfectly clear, and I want to make it clear to all black women
Wavy Lines
and black women only.
On Twitter.
You think this women's movement benefits you?
It has nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with you. White women have never been a minority in the United States of America. They help own you. So we have to be careful when they say minorities. When they include minorities, the record should show that at the beginning when we was fighting for our own rights, it should have been for black people in the United States of America.
Right.
But what they did to pass them bills, them civil rights bills, they included minority.
But
a white woman is not a minority, and I mean it because to a black woman she makes more per dollar.
Let me bring it back to football. To the cabinet now.
Period.
It's all included.
Period.
But let me throw the devil advocate out to this thing.
Go ahead.
What if everybody said y'all felt like he wanted to play? My feeling on it is that he did not want to play. He knew he was already blackballed. He done missed 3 years of football. And I felt like what he wanted to do was bring more attention to it than the fact that they did blackball.
Yeah, that was smart.
That's my feeling. Because he moved into another situation and still had to work out to show he still can play.
I believe he moved to another situation because
on top of the waiver,
because of the contract, he actually was going to do it.
I don't think
he actually was going to do it. But just like I said, he was signing over a lot of stuff. A lot of times you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. You know what I'm talking about? That's why it's definitely, like I say, they try to hit you with the paperwork and all that. That's why it's always good to have a representative or somebody there with you to read the contract, the fine print. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall victim to it, please. You know what I'm talking about? That's real.
I have something to say, right? My thing is this. I'm looking at this list of NFL starting quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks, right?
Tell him there. No, you going though.
After this, bring Stephen A.
I'm looking at Brandon Allen with the Denver Broncos, right? With the Denver Broncos.
Tell Daren.
I'm looking at Sam Darnold.
Trubisky.
I'm looking at Sam Darnold. Trubisky. Listen, I'm looking at
Allen from the
tell him there.
Panthers.
Right. Long story short, my personal opinion.
No reason, right?
My personal opinion is this, right? I think the whole thing about him working out and everything like that, and the whole switch up.
What?
Listen, I think the whole thing about that is this, right? I think he did the whole thing to prove a point. He worked out, but not under their terms.
That's right.
I got eyes on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, I don't know about what all was included. I haven't seen the paperwork. Mm-hmm. I don't know what was included on the waiver. I think that if you look at the way the thing was set up, it was set up that way from the beginning between him and his team. It was set up that way in the beginning. So I think he worked out the way he did it, but on his own terms.
Pardon shots.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Hold on. I'm going to say this before
I'm going to get you a part shot. Let Darren get a part shot in. Get your part shot. Last shot. We're going to wrap this one up.
So he did everything on his own terms. He didn't do it according to their terms. But what he did do was his workout was a hell of a workout. And he proved that he still got an arm. He can still move around in the pocket. And my thing is this.
Close it up.
After that, there should be private workouts with certain teams because he's better than at least, listen to this, I can name at least between 6 to 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now that he's better than, that he could he could either get a starting job or at least a backup job.
Let me say this.
Wrap it up. Party shop.
And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all right now. You know, we all sit here and we be like, what's it like to be in corporate America? You know, what would we do to get to corporate America? Well, Stephen A. Smith decided that
Bring it on.
I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get to corporate America. I don't care if I got to sell you out, my brother, to get to corporate America, because, you know, I see your situation a little different than if I see a white guy in the same situation, you know. And then he'll tell you on TV, I judge you a little harder because we should be better. How can an impoverished people be better than what's impoverished? So that's like saying, I have not, but you want me to dream and think I have it when I don't. Stop. Listen. I want people to understand this with this Colin Kaepernick thing. Stephen A. said, I was pulling for Colin Kaepernick at the beginning. No, he really wasn't. Go look at the video. He really wasn't.
The video
he tried to play both sides. And then at one point, during this Colin Kaepernick thing, before we got to where we are, he actually even turned away from Colin Kaepernick. Do not let Stephen A. Smith fool you.
Conan.
You know, people, don't let him fool you.
All right, Fred, Tina, come on, Tina.
My part was just to say, you know what I'm saying, just make sure, like I said, at the end of the day, have somebody with you. When you always sign the paperwork, make sure you have somebody to read the fine print. Because they try to trick you, know what I'm saying? Go Kaepernick, I hope he really don't need to play in the NFL no more. Sometimes we got to learn, you know what I'm saying? It's bigger, you could be bigger than that, you know what I'm saying? I think he's bigger than that, and I hope he never play in the NFL. And then we got to really get it back to what he started protesting for. You know what I'm saying? It was about the black men getting killed in the city streets of the United States. So if we can get it back to that, and then come to a point to where we actually can really come to a point that we can get to the bottom of that and stop all the killing. That's all I gotta say.
Skimp, closing shots.
I don't know. I really, you know, like I said, I support Colin Kaepernick on the off the field. I kind of agree with Timus. I think he's bigger than the NFL. I think that ship has sailed. Right. I really feel like he should just leave it alone and continue doing his activist thing because he does have a lot. He do have a lot of a lot of positive things going on as far as neighborhoods and things that he's doing as far as the community with like the felons giving the suits and stuff like that. So you know, big ups to Colin, Nike supporting him. I rock it with you,
Batman.
Just to piggyback on what everybody been saying, always make sure you got somebody to read the fine print. Colin Kaepernick, I think he did do it more as I think about it, Fat Boy, like you said. He wanted to showcase that they was trying to bullshit and shit. That they was full of shit, and he showed it. He got it on his own terms. He did what he wanted to do, prove that he can still play the game, and that they was still blackballing him, so that make him a bigger and stronger case if he want to sue their ass again. You know what I'm saying? Because what they did was stupid. It ain't no way he shouldn't have had a private workout with any team he wanted to work out with. Why he had to be a big showcase and do it on their terms, to sign waivers, do interviews. All that was some bullshit. Bunch of fluff, dog and pony show. So big ups to Colin, you know what I'm saying? You bigger than NFL, like Skimp and say, do your thing, bro.
And I'm gonna wrap it up on my end by just basically talking about the cooning that's going on between African American men. I mean, shit, we not 80 to 90% of the league, and y'all motherfuckers can't get this shit together. I mean, shit, if y'all walk off the field, what the fuck they gonna do? Put all these white boys on the field? And I'm gonna listen now. Some of the shit I say, y'all gonna like, some of you not. A white guy can't play no position on the field, but might be center these days. That's about all you got left.
Or offensive
tackle, maybe, if you're a mauler. But some of y'all ain't even that tough no more.
And that's what you got to
So
realize.
that's my closing shot. I mean, these boys, y'all got to stick together. Y'all got to stick together and show these guys that just because they paying you all this money, you giving your whole life to this game. I'm limping right now with my left foot right now. I tore something up, but had to get back to the game. This is a game I love, so I know what I'm talking about.
And they gotta understand the power is them. These people are not coming to see Jerry Jones.
Hell no.
They're not coming to see Robert Kraft or any other billionaire. They're not coming to see them. They coming to see y'all.
Why you think they keeping the white boys the white boys a quiet quarterback? Because they're trying to keep some
that's about to be over.
That's about to be over. They scared now that Lamar ain't got game. We finna take this shit.
Wrap it up, to close it up. Thank you for tuning in to this podcast. At Lines Wavy on Twitter. Comments. Good or bad. Everything that's going on. Shout out MC. Everybody that's going on. Shout out Oh Yes Entertainment. Yes, we really about it. Thank you for tuning in. Hit us up. We'll see you next time. Thank you.